What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video I am bringing the Tropius Poliwrath core. This has been a core I've really liked this season, as we saw a big uptick in the use of water type Pokemon and some extra fighters, and Tropius can do very well to break that mold, and it pairs pretty well with Poliwrath. Now, in this meta specifically, this core is incredibly strong as well. Obviously, Dewgong's Safe Swap is very nice for this team, and what I will suggest as well to you is if you are going to be running Poliwrath, do consider bringing Dynamic Punch or Power Up Punch instead of Scald. Now, I personally don't have a lot of spare charge TMs in order to play the gamble game to see what charge move I get, because Poliwrath does have access to a lot of charge moves, so it may take you over 10 in order to get it. But in this meta specifically, right, in Open Great League you want Scald and Icy Wind. In this meta specifically, I can see a bigger use case for Dynamic Punch and Power Up Punch, so give those a try if you can. Overall, this team was just good. It was so much fun to use. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, getting in the first battle, Tropius versus Weezing. Now, one thing I always like to live by is never let Weezing get a lot of energy. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap into Dewgong. They're deciding to stay in and do exactly what I don't want them to do, which is get a lot of energy, so I'm gonna have to be careful on the back end there. But thankfully in this matchup against Ferrothorn, the Ice Shards and Icy Winds are doing neutral damage, and we are very tanky. We're gonna be able to survive a Power Whip or Thunder. So this is gonna be a tough call. I'm deciding to let it go through. You guys can see that we easily survive there, and our whole goal is to get the Ferrothorn low. We don't necessarily want to be taking Switch. We just want to soften it up so that Tropius can come in and load up on energy with Air Slash. So this is a perfect opportunity to completely let this go. Tropius is a potential win condition for us if I get enough energy, as we are able to farm down the Ferrothorn. And then now we're going to look to go for one Air Slash and then swap into Poliwrath. So I'm going to go ahead and throw one Aerial Ace, I should say. One Aerial Ace, and then go into Poliwrath here to try to catch the Overheat. And we do swap, and we catch it. Now, typical moveset here is going to be Brutal Swing and Overheat. Both are resisted, and we catch the resisted charge move there, so all the energy is gone. They bring in Hisui Electrode, which is perfect for us. We're going to be applying super effective damage pressure here with Icy Wind, and thankfully, because of its moveset, it's not going to be doing a lot of damage to Tropius. It's going to get it low, right? Wild Charge is a hard-hitting move, but it's by no means going to be one-shotting us, so the Energy Ball will take us out. Tropius now in a position to completely farm down, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. Not give the Weezing energy, which it got, so I had to soak it somehow, which I was able to do on Poliwrath, and then come back into that matchup with a massive advantage, which is going to be the 2-to-1 shields with tons of energy. Fairy Wind as a fast move is not something to be fearing right now with the amount of health that I have remaining, but double Aerial Ace is effective here against the Weezing as we get the shield. We do one more Air Slash, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. This team, I'm telling you, everyone has so much play. Boom, in this meta. Still 2 shields remaining. Good game. All right, moving to the next one, Tropius versus Lantern on the lead. Obviously, very positive for us. We're going to want to stay in this matchup. And to be completely honest, if you have a matchup where you have Poliwrath versus Lantern or Dewgong versus Lantern, you actually have a lot of play in the matchup, especially if your Poliwrath has Power Up Punch or Dynamic Punch, because Dewgong has the Drill Run, right? And then the Shadow Poliwrath with Counter can do so much to a Lantern. Now, we decided to no shield there. I wasn't going to be shielding the Thunderbolt, but they decided to go for Surf, and in comes a Mawile. Poliwrath can do very well against Mawile because of Shadow Counter. We are resisting the Fire Fang fast move, and this is looking to be very good for us. We're going to be able to easily farm down, and this is the exact situation where I would suggest, I realized, you know what, Dynamic Punch and Power Up Punch is going to be more effective, because had we had Dynamic Punch here, obviously we one-shot. Scald can still do a lot. We get a shield regardless, so if you had Power Up Punch there too, that could be really effective, but Scalds are still going to do good. So this is what I want you guys to take away from this. If you don't want to invest, boom, TMs into the Poliwrath, because you're going to have to get Scald back for Open Great League, the Scald one is going to work just fine. Good game. All right, moving to the next one. Tropius versus Abomasnow. Another tough one right here. We're going to look to swap out into that Dugong right away to get ahead on energy, and they will bring in Lantern. So this is obviously a tough mid-game matchup, but thankfully we do super effective damage with Drill Run. Now what I'm hoping to do is take this game into the 1 shields. The reason being is if I can get it into the 1s, then the Tropius can do very well with an aggressive farm down against Lantern. So I'm going to shield here to stop the Thunderbolt. But they went for the Surf Shield bait. And I over-tapped right here. I don't know what I'm doing. I should have gone for Drill Run. I made a mistake. That was a pivotal moment in this game in order to get the ones that I wanted. And I did not throw Drill Run. Huge mistake on my end, because now I have an uphill battle. I do not have one. They still have 2 shields remaining, and that might just seal the deal for me. So that's just a misplay on my end. So this team, like I said, is very strong. It's very flexible, but it also comes down to your choices, right? I made a bad mistake right there, not throwing the Drill Run right away to secure the shield for me, and now I'm going to be paying for it, as I can easily go for an Aerial Ace here. This obviously will get a shield, but if we were in the 1s, this would be a lot better situation for me. I go into Poliwrath now, and there is a Tentacruel in the back. So this is kind of a tough position to be in. I'm going to go for Scalds here. It does more damage than Icy Wind. The Icy Wind could help out by lowering the damage of Poison Jab, but ultimately I need the added damage from Scald in order to get this thing low, or just take it out. So we're going to go ahead and no shield. It is going to be Acid Spray. And then I'm going to go for another Scald here. I'm desperately trying to get shields from my opponent, right? I'm trying to recover from the mistake that I made earlier. So Scald now, going to be KOing the Tentacruel. They come in with Abomasnow. This is an aggressive farm down by them, and ultimately their win condition. I do get to the Icy Wind here, which is going to be getting the final shield. But unfortunately for me, this Abomasnow has a lot of energy, and it's going to be able to throw a back-to-back Icy Wind, so I'm just going to let it go. That's a good game to my opponent. They capitalized on my mistake, and good battle. You live and you learn, right? All right. Losing is learning is another way to think about it. Empoleon on the lead. So Empoleon's another Pokemon like Galarian Weezing where I dislike letting it have energy. And they once again swap in load up and swap in a Grass-type Pokemon. Now typically because of this meta, you're going to see ABB teams all the time. Water double grass, grass double water. That's typically what's going to be happening in this meta. So with the water lead, I was definitely anticipating a double grass backline, which is why I also wanted to get the Dugong onto the field. Firstly, to try to soak some energy from Empoleon, and secondly, draw out a grass, right? That was the goal with the Dugong safe swap, and then we should be able to potentially flip this around. But then Empoleon does have a lot of energy. I'm going to go ahead and let this Power Whip go through. It's not going to be enough to KO, so I should be able to get to this Icy Wind in time. But I once again overload on energy when I shouldn't. I realized they actually had Mirror Shot there. It's a mistake. Like you guys are seeing, I have opportunities to get the ones, which is exactly what I need. Now, they're going to be coming back in with Empoleon, so this is going to be a pivotal moment to see if I can get this Leaf Blade off. Had I been able to throw Icy Wind against the Ferrothorn, that Leaf Blade would have probably landed. It would have done a lot of neutral damage. Now, Drill Peck is going to be coming through. We're going to go ahead and counter swap into Poliwrath. And sure enough, there is another grass in the back. It's common in this meta, right? Water double grass, grass double water. That's going to be like 80% of your matches. There will be some ABA teams in there as well. People love that combination. But ultimately, it's the It's the water double grass, grass double water. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. It is going to be Aerial Ace. I'm going to see if I can get to another Icy Wind in time, and I do. Maybe I could have shielded that Aerial Ace in hindsight, but I'm thinking right here I might be able to get to the Leaf Blade against Empoleon. So we're going to go ahead and obviously shield this charge move, and then it's going to be Erase right here, right? Empoleon is out of shields. It's low enough where a Leaf Blade will KO. Tropius, we got one more fast move to get, but we charge attack priority tie, and they're going to be taking it. So, once again, very, very close battle. Some mistakes made on my end, but the win conditions are there. That's what I want to show with this team, is even if you're losing, try to analyze like why you lost, okay? All right, moving to the next one. Got a really good lead here. Roserade. You got to watch out for Weather Ball, but ultimately Tropius is a flying dinosaur. It took a meteor, right? A few hundred million, a long time ago. It could take a little Weather Ball, okay? We're going to go ahead and go for Aerial Ace. You could opt to just go for Leaf Blade in this situation. Honestly, they're going to be shielding most likely, which they do. And I'm anticipating double water, right? There's one water. They had a grass lead, which is why Tropius is so strong in this meta. If it's grass double water, water double grass, Tropius beats them all, right? Except for Abomasnow. Now, we come in with Dugong right here, and it can still do well against Abomasnow with Air Slash and Aerial Ace, but we're going to come in with Dugong. The Tentacruel is Shadow and Angry. Acid Spray not going to do a lot, and we're just going to go ahead and go for Drill Run. I am done messing around on overloading with energy. I'm just getting this thing out of here. Just get it out of the game. Boom, see ya. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a second water in the back, maybe Jellicent, maybe Lantern, maybe Dugong, and they decide to come in with Roserade, which is totally fine by me, as I can safely shield this charge move, as an Ice Shard did go through, so that's going to KO the Roserade, and it's actually Empoleon. So it is double water in the back, which is fine. Drill Run here does super effective damage. We have Shadow Poliwrath. We still have Tropius. This is a good game. The team synergy here, the Tropius, Poliwrath, and Dugong is just incredibly strong in this meta. So we're going to go ahead and let this go through. Obviously, we're going to be coming in with Poliwrath and just counter down. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. Unfortunately, the opponent just doesn't have enough energy or health remaining in order to win. So we are just going to counter down and seal the deal right there. Good game. All right, moving into the next one. We have Tropius on the lead versus Lantern. Good lead for us once again. Obviously, we're going to be staying in. Our opponent is staying in as well. So we're just going to look to go for those Leaf Blades as quickly as possible. We want to apply that damage quick and early. We do not want them to load up and swap out. So we're just going to throw right away. We get Leaf Blade number 1 through, which is perfect. And they're opting to throw a charge move, which is fine. We can let Thunderbolt go through. There's no reason to be shielding right here. If this is... they probably have double grass in the back, right? But Lantern can do well against my backline. So I just want to make sure we get rid of it. Because, again, our backline of waters are built to handle grass. We have counter and double Icy Wind, right? And Ice Shard. Now, they actually have a Mawile in the back and a Ludicolo. I decided to keep the Tropius alive because, obviously, with Lantern out of the way, if they do have double grass in the back, we're wanting to keep the Air Slash Tropius as a Pokemon to be able to farm down a grass, like we're going to be seeing right here with Ludicolo. So we get to another Icy Wind, which is perfect. They already shielded one, I believe, right there. And the second one here, they are going to be shielding. So this is already, it's a good game. Unfortunately, this Ludicolo cannot gain energy quickly with Razor Leaf. So I do need to watch out for Ice Beam. It has access to that charge move. But we're just going to get rid of the Ludicolo nice and quick here. Unfortunately, Though Tactical wouldn't want to see this part of the video right here with the Leaf Blade coming through against his cherished favorite Pokemon, but that's okay. Leaf Blade going to be taking out the Ludicolo, and then boom, see ya! And then Poliwrath comes in for the Mawile, and that's checkmate, right? Good game. We can just go for Scald here to KO. I will give up a shield. Don't want to get hit with the Poliwrath, and then just get annihilated by Fire Fang. So we safely shield the charge move, and then go for Scald to call it a good game. So yeah, this team puts in a lot of work. The Waters have play against the grass. The Tropius has a play against everything. So good battle. All right, Ferrothorn on the lead right here. So this is, again, another one of those good leads where there could be double water in the back. With double water in the back, our backline does pretty well against that, aside from like a Lantern Jellicent combination, just because of how those resistances play out, counter into Jellicent's ghost typing, right? But with Aerial Ace here, we're going to be doing quite a bit of neutral damage. They decide to swap out in the Dugong, so I'm going to go ahead and go for a Leaf Blade here to apply the pressure of super effective damage, maybe get myself a shield, and we do get that. So now we're going to come in with Poliwrath and just commit to the counter down. Now, typically, I'm just going to let the first one go through. I always let the first one, not always, but I'm going to let the first one go through in this situation because I could survive a Drow Run, and odds are they are wanting to apply Icy Wind, so they could survive longer to get to a second charge move. So now I'm going to respect the potential Drow Run and look to shield. And now we will fast move down, and we have lots of energy, right? This is a beautiful situation to be in. In another situation, like I mentioned earlier, this is where Dynamic Punch and Power Up Punch could be clutch, is against Ferrothorns. Unfortunately, I don't have it, but I would suggest for this meta, especially since it's a 2-week-long meta, that you guys maybe give that a try if you got extra TMs. I decided to counter swap right away into Tropius, knowing that my opponent probably wasn't going to stay in with Ferrothorn. It was going to get fast moved down, and if they did, in fact, have a grass double water, Tropius needs to start getting energy in order to do well against that matchup, and it actually worked out perfectly. We simultaneously swapped in, and Tropius is going to be able to outpace to the double charge move here, so Leaf Blade is going to be able to get the Poliwrath extremely low. It's not going to KO, thanks to their Icy Wind debuff. Tropius will go down, but we have Dugong still, and we have Poliwrath, so that is going to be a good game. We're going to go ahead and come in with Dugong to fast move down. This is going to force Ferrothorn to throw any energy that it does have in order to get us low. And then Dugong could probably even survive right here, which it will. And then the Ice Shards will take it down. So that is a good game, very well played. All right, moving into the final battle. Ferrothorn once again on the lead. So double water, most likely the play, but they actually bring in a Tropius. So this is one of those ABA teams that you got to look out for. But with this team, if there is in fact a Tropius safe swap, well, you guys know Dugong. It's going to be terrorizing this flying dinosaur. Boom! See ya! Tropius is gone. Ferrothorn coming back in. We are sitting very good as we can go for Icy Wind here. I could give up a shield in order to force them to have to throw another charge move, but I opt to just let it go. Look to go for double Icy Winds here, as they're likely going to be committing to the farm down. I am low enough where Bullet Seed can farm us down, but hopefully I get to a second Icy Wind in time, which is my goal. Oh, and I do! Dugong! Come on! What a beautiful Pokemon right there I have with my IVs, as we get the second Icy Wind through. Tropius now can easily come in. They swap into Dugong, and that seals the deal. So it was an ABA team. Grass, water, grass, and Poliwrath is just going to checkmate them right there, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. This team did so good. I do have one more battle. Last one. Alright, we got Roserade here on the lead. Very good matchup. They decide to swap into Empoleon, so we're going to bring in the Poliwrath right away. It is very important that you guys swap into Empoleon the second that you see it, because if it gets like 2 fast moves ahead, it will get to the second Drill Peck. But in this case, I was quick and they did not get there. Now Lantern comes in. Once again, if you got Dynamic Punch, this matchup right now is devastating for Lantern. But unfortunately, I don't. I only have Scald. We do get the debuff, though, which is nice. And you guys are seeing how much damage Shadow Poliwrath can actually do against something you would consider a counter, right? All the way below 33.33 repeating. Look at this. They only have a Roserade left, and we pick your poison, right? Air Slash or Ice Shard. So we're just going to let the Surf go through. We're going to come in with Tropius. They come in with Roserade, and that's going to be a good game. They do have Weather Balls left, So we can shield if we want to, but ultimately I don't really need to. I'm going to go ahead and throw Leaf Blade now. This is a lower energy cost charge move as opposed to Aerial Ace, and they'll likely be shielding anyways, as this is their last Pokemon, right? You can't take shields into the next game. But thankfully right here, Tropius, I can easily just shield and fast move down. So that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Lantern going to come back in and fight the good fight, but unfortunately for it, I have double Leaf Blades, and don't even need to use Dugong in this one. So that is going to be a good battle, and that just goes to show how strong and punishing a Poliwrath can be with loaded energy. And you guys didn't even see it with Dynamic Punch. Had I just had Dynamic Punch, that Lantern would have been near one-shot, fully countered down. Poliwrath would have taken this whole game by itself, right? So good battle. Overall, this team was very strong. I was very impressed with it. It's all Pokemon that I have access to. I know Tropius is something you guys may not have. An alternative might be Jumpluff, potentially another grass flyer that you guys could use. If you guys have other suggestions as well, be sure to let everyone know down in the comments. But this team did really well. Very happy with it. Extremely strong. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.